What'd you guys think of the Cleveland Browns experience? A downtown stadium. We had my buddy Joe from the Cavs picked us up. And
what a guy.
Drove us to his Cavs parking, which is pretty sweet to have on game day.
Dan was so impressed by his ability to just whip between buildings and get us where we were supposed to be.
Weren't you? Like, he got around all the traffic.
What'd you call it? The Godfather entrance or the
Goodfellas entrance? You've never seen Goodfellas?
No.
Okay, that's my number one movie. That
I was going to say, if we're going to do this monthly exchange.
Is that the movie for September?
It should be.
Goodfellas?
I'll say, because then you'll get me my awesome references.
Yeah, and then we'll have to watch like Little Nicky or something for Black.
No, I was telling you the one I wanted, The Internship with Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson.
That's right.
Get internships at Google.
Sounded awesome.
That does, actually. It was a good premise, and you were essing all over it.
But yeah.
Yeah, what'd you guys think?
Dude, people get mad at me when I say this about Philadelphia because Dallas and Philadelphia are rivals, I suppose. But can I say it about here? This is a better place to go to a sporting event.
Oh, for sure.
It's awesome.
Like
that little strip that we went down that I think Rob went back to last night, right? What was it called? That was like 6th, right?
Yeah. East 6th Street?
Awesome. Perfect place if you're a douchebag.
That's what I was going to say. I was like,
from a song that I heard.
Expecting douchebaggery, but it was really cool. Just bars everywhere and people hanging out and having a good time.
And it's also like maybe this is the part about it that's like less Philadelphia. People are not like combative. Now, I didn't have my Cowboys gear.
No.
But there was a lot of Cowboy fan walking.
There were a lot of Cowboy fans, but even in the stands, I mean, it was pretty obvious where my allegiance was, and nobody was like over the top rude about it, or I don't know. I love it here.
So
I really do.
Jake got a shirt out of the Airbnb dryer.
Yeah,
which I think threw you off.
So to go back to what happened yesterday, all of my clothes got soaked. And we did not have time by the time that Joe arrived to get all the clothes dried. So there was a shirt down there, and I said, I'm going to wear this shirt.
It was like a bowling shirt.
It was a bowling
but it wasn't a bowl. It was a T-shirt, but it had bowling stuff on it.
But it had funny bowling slogans.
Yeah, there were a lot of bowling puns. Like, I'm not bowling tonight if, and then it listed like 10 things.
Well, let me go through your thought process, though. Okay, everything's soaked. You need a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
You've got 3 friends here of similar size, and you decide, I want to take a random shirt from an Airbnb that we're staying in that some other guys, like, what if there was AIDS on that shirt?
I don't think that's how that works.
AIDS cannot be transmitted through a shirt?
My bowling excuses.
Yeah.
And then it simply lists.
Just think of all the funny things you could say for that.
Yeah,
It's amazing they could fit them on a shirt.
This place right here.
The lane is too oily. My thumb got stuck. The pins won't carry.
This building right here was amazing.
Would you get a tea?
Don't concern yourself with what I got going
Blake
on over
just
here.
got a tea delivered to him. I've never seen anybody get a tea.
Boy, look at this service. Thank you.
And you don't want to go to France?
Look how tiny that cup is. Look at his little cup.
Well,
put it on camera.
Tea? Okay, but
no, not that one.
Oh, that's probably
this is
cream.
Cream.
Look, okay.
Yeah.
Just a dollop.
A dollop.
Yeah, so whatever that building was that we just had on the screen there.
It's called the Arcade, yeah.
That was amazing.
That was really cool. And it's
attached to a hotel, but it's kind of like a little walking mall, and that would be a good place to – when I worked downtown many years ago, that would be a place to go for lunch. A lot of places just open, 11 to 3, and that's it.
It was cool.
Yeah. You can just tell walking through downtown there's a lot of history there.
Cleveland! It's very cool. Yes, a downtown stadium, and it actually does create a lot of, what do you call it? Not commerce, but
it's not the same as Texas Live.
Right, money for local businesses.
Economic development.
These are local, actual, and they're going to move that stadium. Do you know that?
What?
It was
been a big thing.
Big topic of conversation yesterday was either it's getting moved or they're going to somehow retroactively dome that one.
Yeah.
Which
on a day like yesterday, that seems criminal.
Yeah, but like you were saying, it's only like that for 1 game a year, 2 games a year before it gets just blistering cold.
It gets very cold, like I said, fourth quarter.
Sorry. But that's like part of the charm. I guess I can't really say that considering I haven't been here for that part of the charm, but I do feel like that's like a cool thing. And I got to tell you, dude, That's like the loudest I've ever heard an NFL stadium that's not covered.
So before
Now
y'all,
that waned pretty quickly.
before y'all talk about the game, but just being able to park downtown, we get out, we walk through the 6th Street, we get a slice of pizza downtown, continue, like, it was just all a part of the experience where if you just park in Arlington at the Walmart,
There might be a
that's
Chicken Express.
That's missing. We don't
Which
get that.
I would absolutely do spots for if you'd like to
Yes,
contact
yes.
us.
But,
Same thing with like L.A. when we went to that stadium.
Yeah.
It's like
it's-
Jerry World. There's nothing between your parking and
Yeah. And that's it's all part of the game day experience.
then the
Game day
Smoke
tailgating.
'em up.
The tailgating is the tailgating is like a college game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As loud.
People care. It's
People,
really cool.
from what I understand, people used to show up like Friday night to start their tailgating, and they have limited that. And now, was it Saturday they let them in, or was it Sunday morning?
It was either Saturday night, overnight, or Sunday morning because one of our listeners texted us and said, "I've been in the Muni lot since 5:30 Eastern time."
Yeah.
That game was at 4:25.
And it's
I was like, dude.
I had another listener say that Myles Garrett was in the Muni lot, and I thought he was just trying to get us to go. Like, I thought he was lying. But sure enough, Myles Garrett was there. Donovan Mitchell was there from the Cavs. So,
Did you see the
it's
Donovan
like
Mitchell clip,
It's a
Dan?
community experience there.
I didn't see the clip, but I saw his car. Joe identified it as we walked in. He's like, "Boy, that's got to be Donovan. Like it's like a one of a kind,
Did not know that.
some kind of an amazing."
He does make
vehicle."
like $40 million a year, but
Yeah.
Probably afford it.
the clip is he's bowling with a keg, which apparently is a thing that people do here. Like he's got an empty beer keg, and they have pins, and he bowls a strike with a keg.
Okay.
Then people go nuts.
Lane wasn't too oily for him, apparently.
No excuses for his bowling.
That is a funny excuse.
Yep. So Channel 27.
Yeah, Channel 27 every night, Monday through Friday. And I should mention, because we are live streaming today, this is new for Cowboys season. It's announcement season.
Mm-hmm.
Every Monday, we will live stream, Cowboy Monday. Or even if the Cowboys play Monday night, we're going to live stream Monday just to get the Cowboy stuff out there early. Just to, I don't know, why are we doing it? I'm trying to come up with some excuses.
Because we want to.
Because we want to.
We can.
And
because we can.
That's right.
And because we're going to.
Yes.
So we will live stream every Monday, Football Monday. Man. So I started yesterday in 9 different football bits.
This guy's been
And how many are you down to?
he has been going through it this
So
weekend.
I've tried to pare my things down, and I've only just – the problem is I'm too nice, and I just want to be friendly to everybody who invites me into their thing. So I'm in fantasy football, of course, the Landry Cup. Been in that for like 20 years. I can never get out of it, but it looks like my team is absolutely horrible, and I might just give up the season right now. Or just start going crazy with trades. I might do that.
Yeah, that's
my team
fine.
sucks. Marvin Harrison Jr.
Dude,
is
what
my,
was his deal?
is my lead
One
wide
catch?
receiver. Did you see the clip of him,
Yeah,
for
wide
the
open.
possible game-winning touchdown?
Yeah. That hurts.
And he might as well have scored that because that made me lose my my Bills bet. I
See,
think
now
my Bills was my
he's-
lock.
Yeah, it's all merging
He's
together.
got the whole matrix just battling each other.
Right, because the Bills won by 6, which sounds great unless you think that they were favored by 6.5, which they were,
Ouch.
and that effed me.
Ouch.
So I'm in, Jared's little gambling or whatever
Sorry, Jared.
game picking thing. I'm so beaten by it already after week 2. I'm in my Monopoly game, and that's the one I'm doing really well in because they give you $10,000 of fake money to bet. And so I thought, you know what, I got to go, if not all in, most in. And yesterday morning I said, let's go $7,500 of this fake money, $10,000 I have for the season on the Cowboys.
Nice.
Because this guy got to me.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, dude, they're great. They're great regular season. Like whatever, they're a juggernaut. Look at the point differential in last year's team.
I mean,
Like they outscored their opponent by like 200.
yeah, and the final yesterday was not indicative of what happened.
They
It was
destroyed
a
them.
garbage time touchdown to get Cleveland to 10. It was not that. I mean, I believe you actually said on Friday it's not going to be like last year's week 1. It kind of was.
Yeah.
It doesn't look quite as gaudy, but, yeah, they're very good at beating average teams.
I'm in
Or maybe the Browns are just bad.
I'm in 5 knockout leagues, including the Dumb Zone knockout league.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not anymore.
That one.
I'm out of that one. What'd you pick?
That one took a
I
hit.
took the Commanders.
Why?
I don't know.
Wait, who do they have?
The Bucks. Baker Mayfield.
Who
Baker?
was dealing as DeShaun Watson was
Believe me.
airmailing every single pass.
Every
into the-
friend of mine in Cleveland has alerted
Told you
me
about
to
that.
that.
Yeah. It was.
It's so Cleveland.
It was a topic of conversation in the stands. I can tell you that.
Have you guys taken a look at Deshaun Watson's cap hit? Should they, let's release him after this season?
It's like $80 million.
Next year's dead money would be $172 million.
It's like 70% of the cap, isn't it? No, they're stuck with him.
If they wait 2 years, $99 million. If you can hold on till 2027, then you would just have to eat $26 million of dead cap money.
Dude, and the craziest thing about it is I don't know that I've ever seen somebody have like an off-the-field issue that just ruined them. Like, he was really, really good. He was an elite college player. He was pretty good as the Texans starting quarterback. And then he gets in trouble, and I'm not saying what he did was okay, but it's not like he went to jail. Like, Michael Vick went to jail.
Yeah.
And came back and was like, all right, I'm still Michael Vick.
Yeah.
Kind of. Deshaun Watson just had
He's just creepy.
super creepy, potentially illegal public issues. And then he just forgot how to play quarterback at the NFL level.
He's sailing everything.
And he also looks like, you watch him and you're like, dude, nothing about this guy inspires confidence in me at all. Like, he looks like he doesn't want to be out there.
I don't think his teammates like him very much either.
Doesn't appear that that's the case. Now, not having Nick Chubb, losing Njoku, those things matter, but still.
He never wanted to be here, though.
No, he wanted to go to Atlanta, right?
Yeah. And so Cleveland decided, well, let's guarantee
The whole freight.
the whole thing, making NFL history. And he is awful.
He's awful. He's awful. And
Do they ever bench him, or you can't, right? You just have to.
To, again, recount to you some of the things that were being brought up in the stands yesterday, Jameis got very popular by about the second quarter.
Hey, you know what you're getting.
Not quite as popular as Trey Lance at Cowboys camp, but there were some Jameis murmurs.
Wouldn't you take a 30-30 year over Deshaun Watson right now?
Well, look how good they were last year without Deshaun Watson. Flacco.
Flacco.
They have a good team around him. It's unbelievable.
They're a hard watch.
But the Cowboys, man, that might be a case too. It's possible that you're just sitting here looking at a really, really good team against an average team. Because the Cowboys are a really good team, man.
Yeah, and, you're 20% of the way to your 5-0 bet. Most of the teams that they're going to play in that stretch are not better than them.
Baltimore at home is the toughie.
Baltimore at home will be the tough one. But, like the thing I wrote this morning, Mike Zimmer, did we just underrate how big of an addition that is because Dan Quinn was also great? Like, that might be a 1-to-1 trade-off, right? Now, they play different. He's going to bring a lot more pressure. Sometimes he'll have an eye patch on, confusingly. Thank you to the one guy here who remembers the Mike Zimmer eye patch. But, like, if you look at every single position that matters, they're pretty good there. They're pretty good at left tackle. They have an elite corner, and they might have another one coming up while Bland's out. They have an elite wide receiver, and their quarterback's pretty good. Their head coach is pretty good. There's no reason to think that, again, they won't be one of the 5 best teams in the league. And those teams typically beat the piss out of average to bad teams.
Locked up Dak right before the game.
So Jerry.
Cowboys.
God, so Jerry, man.
It's just,
Do you think it was calculated to be the morning of?
how could it not be?
Steal the news cycle in week 1.
And it's the exact same contract, maybe even more so, that we've been talking about for 6 months.
Yep.
It's $60 million a year with 80% of it guaranteed.
Yep.
We all knew that was going to be the deal. And
Yes.
it's not like he was great yesterday. He was fine, but didn't really have to do much. You get a turpentine touchdown.
Is it just 80% guaranteed? Somebody had sent me an email just talking about how
No,
Charles,
you're right. It's more than that.
Charles sent us an email just talking about the cap and how Dak's deal really does work out in line with other top quarterbacks in the NFL.
As a percentage of the salary cap?
Yeah, he's 23.5%. Burrow is 24. Allen is 23.5. Herbert 23. Jackson 23. Mahomes 23. So, okay, on and on. It's kind of in line with the top quarterbacks.
Okay, yeah. So Dak is, I'm looking at your computer, 96. It's 231 out of 240, right? So that is, my math was incorrect there.
And then, so it's the guaranteed money. According to emailer, the going rate is 65 to 80% guaranteed. But Dak is blowing that away because he has 96% of his money guaranteed. DeShaun Watson, 100%, of course. Justin Herbert, 83. Stafford, 81. Goff, 80. But
But the thing I think about that is that he said multiple times while they were discussing this deal, like he brought up other quarterbacks and said, it's on me to get a great deal to help everyone else out. So whatever the next deal for Herbert is, it's going to be more than 83%.
right,
Whatever the next deal
even
for
if they're stubborn and I'm not going to 96. Okay, well, you got to get me closer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, he's a brothers in arms, I guess. He won, without a doubt.
Every player wins. When have the Cowboys won?
And
That-
next up, it's Micah.
That
Yes,
was that was
it'll
the other
be-
thing I wrote this morning is like, he ain't going to be a Cam next year.
No.
Why would he?
He'll sign right before week 1 for the deal we all thought.
Right.
And we're going to play the same circus again.
And he'll be the highest paid defensive player in the league.
Yeah.
And we'll have to talk about it for 4 months leading up to it.
And we'll be comparing his numbers against T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett. It's the same. It's the same story over and over.
Yeah.
Did you know that today's Cowboy Talk, which we've already kind of launched into because the whole show is Cowboy Monday, is brought to you by Qualis Roofing?
I know now.
Okay, we didn't preview this very well. Anyway, I was texting with Brian, one of the Bryans. They got a lot of Bryans over there at Qualis Roofing. Got to watch out for that. But they were talking about the fact that if you get if you have them out for a free roof inspection, you know how their copy points previously said they'd give you a DumbZone T-shirt for free? Just have them out for an inspection. That's all.
Yep.
He's like, what if we also we could offer a year-long subscription to the DumbZone
Hey now.
Wow.
for free.
Yeah, and I heard Brian telling you this morning that he actually wears the shirt to the inspection and then just takes it off.
Yeah, he might do that.
So if you're into
Game worn.
seeing a guy who knows how to fix a roof shirtless, Qualis is your team.
They were really great. They did fix our roof. So they have the roof above the Dragon Den of Inequality is built by Qualis Roofing. And they worked, they kind of handled the insurance company for us. You know how you got to call the insurance company and
Beating.
get on hold, and then they say, well, no, we need this from your roofing. And then you got to call them, and you ever do that back and forth bit? Anyway, Qualis kind of will take care of that all for you. They make it really easy for you. They have a phone number, Jake.
They do have a phone number. It is 817-500-9008. Qualis, QUALISGC.com is their website. You don't know anything about your roof. You probably think it's okay.
I thought it was.
It's probably not.
And they're like, this thing's messed up, man.
Yeah. Well, just get it inspected, and you get a free year of the DumbZone. How about
they-
that?
There you go.
They were trying to take care of it before,
Yeah.
like something crashed through the roof.
Before we have to
It
put
would've-
pots in the kitchen.
I was going to
and-
say, perhaps
Right here at
perhaps at our Airbnb they could use a little Qualis roofing. Take
it's
care
not
of that.
so bad. You walk around a pot, and then you could,
That's great. And you need some drinking water
to
for
the
later, just tip that
There it
pot right
is.
in your mouth.
That's right.
So Cleveland.
Not if Qualis comes out, though.
No.
Definitely not.
QualisGC.com.
Good peoples.
How about that? How seamless was that? So I actually had press pass,
Oh.
and I sat in the.
Look at this guy.
You put on your little Grantland Rice hat.
Dude, you never have to flash your press pass because
Has he ever told you his story?
What?
Wasn't it? Was it Reese Davis? Are you allowed to say this?
Fowler. Chris Fowler.
We are
Okay.
live.
Yeah, Chris Fowler you think Chris Fowler's wearing his credential? He just walked into Darrell K. Royal and somebody stopped him and said, hey, I need to see your credential.
And he's like,
He looked down to where it was supposed to be and looked back at him and said, if you don't know who I am, then we have a problem.
Oh, come on, Chris Fowler. You just got to assume every
lowly
janitor
worker
and whoever, elevator operator at
Yeah.
these games.
Why not just follow the rules?
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean,
That's awesome that you
what a
said
jerk
that.
to
He
ever
got in. 'Cause I was like-
attempt to attend a professional sporting situation without your press pass that you left at home.
Because it was a big TCU at Texas. Herbie's doing the game, and it was really cool. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Chris Fowler. And then the guy stops him, and I'm locked in on what's going on. And he's like, hey, bro,
Well, at Cleveland Stadium,
I'm Chris Fowler.
you never have to, or Progressive, right? Progressive?
No,
Progressive Huntington or
it's
something?
like it changed this
Huntington
year.
Bank? Okay. Anyway, at the stadium, you never have to flash your press pass because they have facial recognition.
Whoa.
And you just
Wow.
look into a little thing every time, and then it will boop, pops up Dan McDowell and blah, blah, blah.
That's not terrifying at all.
Yeah. So, like, they never look at your pass. You just look into the little thing, and then they let you through. So I actually did a little pregame meal. They have salmon.
Really?
Yeah. Nice press box spread. Unfortunately, I had the salmon because then I saw they had a pasta bar. I could have gone there.
Man.
Yeah. But I just went salmon because I'm a regular Joe. So I only had salmon before the meal. In the press box, saw Sam Gannon, my coworker
Yeah.
That's right.
at KDFI. Does she work at KDFI?
Same umbrella.
We're kind of under the same umbrella, yeah.
We're under the same umbrella. If you haven't figured it out, we do have our studio is kind of in the Fox 4 building downtown.
It's not kind of.
Is that a big announcement?
I don't think we kept that under wraps like we were supposed to.
Oh,
We tried.
We did for a while.
Yeah.
anyway.
Tough to remember to always take the thing off.
Yeah, the badge kind of says Fox on
Yeah.
it.
But I got a little half hug from Sam Gannon. I didn't stand up. I was eating my salmon, and
You
she
took
walked
a
over.
sit-down hug?
You hugged her hip?
And I did a reach up, and then my buddy, I was introducing her to my buddy Joe. Then he stands up,
Yeah, like
and
a
shakes
gentleman.
her hand, and I'm like, should I have? And now I can't stand up now.
No, you're
Like for another, okay, give me the real hug, and then that's real seedy, you know.
Well, it is, but
I
I
just
don't know
thought
that
I
it's
was
more
eating.
seedy than a sit-down hug.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, that's what your grandma does because she can't get up.
Yeah, she's unable.
I did have food right in front of me.
Okay, let's
anyway,
ask the bartender. What do you think about a sit-down hug?
I'm just telling.
Awkward.
Awkward,
Thank
yeah.
you. Yeah.
Well, I've been in those situations before. Saw Saad, good dude. Love Saad Youssef. Saw Timmy Collishaw.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Who is always baffled when he sees us out in the wild.
He's
Like he
yeah.
thinks that we just disappeared and went in a hole
Yeah.
because he's not aware of whatever media we're doing now.
Yeah. He's
K-
surprised we still
KDFI.
have jobs. Yeah.
Yeah. So, on the sideline, I got to go on the field before the game. I had a field pass.
Very cool. You've done that before, right? I mean, I know you did it at Clemson, but I didn't know if you'd done it here the last time you were with Rafa.
I don't know if I did it here, but anyway, it was very cool. They do have natural grass surrounded by the fake grass.
Okay.
And I got to interact with Bernie Kosar.
No way.
Wow. Did you
That's
tell him
right.
how much you've been enjoying his
Yeah. Did you tell him about
Joe?
his coffee?
Oh, I forgot that I have a Kosar coffee. Damn.
You should have seen Dan.
I should have said, hey, Kosar coffee,
When
how
he
come?
noticed he could buy it?
We were walking through the supermarket. We're getting water. He's getting his yogurt and apples. and we're walking along, and then there's this like display of Kosar coffee, and he's walking, and he goes, "Holy shit, Kosar coffee!" And he goes
Thank you so
and buys a bag of it.
Like, it's obviously some coffee company. They're like, "Hey, Bernie, can we slap your name on this?"
Yeah.
It's 100% the
Well, of
car
course.
dealership rule,
Right.
right?
What do you think he's
Yeah.
out there collecting beans and making
Right.
it himself?
No, but I'm like, oh, this is probably great.
Bernie Kosar just moved to Peru. No, highly unlikely. You should have told him, though. It is crazy, though. Like, I think the only time I've done it was at Arrowhead, because we have a guy who listens who works for the Chiefs. Everyone is so much bigger than you think.
Yeah, especially in pads.
And so much faster, even in just warm-ups. Like, I've been on the field for a bunch of college games.
Mm-hmm.
It's night and day.
I saw Andrew Siciliano on the sideline.
How were his ears?
You know why? Yeah, he flew away.
Dumbo?
Apparently, he's from Cleveland. Don't know if you guys knew that.
I respect him a lot in the same way that I respect Windhorst. Because they've been able to succeed at television despite having like a very defining characteristic that is highly unattractive. Like, it's not like he can lose ear weight like Windhorst could lose
Yeah.
his gut, but I respect it. He's succeeding.
He is the Browns' new radio play-by-play guy.
For real.
Because Jim Donovan, who you've heard many times on Homer Call, has some cancer situation.
Well,
Has cancer, I guess.
I wish you'd have left
I was
this.
laughing at
Has
the way
some
I was laughing
cancer.
at the way that you said that.
Yeah.
Not the cancer.
Well, I mean, if you laugh, it will diminish its ability to hurt you.
And it helps heal.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, laughter is the best medicine, they
Yep.
say. Yeah, so that's why I was just surprised that I'm like, why is Andrew Siciliano here? So that's my pregame fun. And then we get to the game, and gosh darn it, golly gee, if Jake wasn't right on a prediction
One.
made, what was it, February? What day did they sign Zeke? Do you remember this prediction?
Yeah, but you're wrong, though.
Didn't he get the first carry of the season?
Second.
Oh, I thought he was
I'm 95% sure Terp got the first one.
interesting.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
The only reason I feel like I'm correct about this is because I was very locked in on this.
Okay, you could be correct, but I was
But he
in
was the second one,
stands.
though.
All right,
Yeah. And
so you didn't cash.
he
in
was
on
their
that.
leading rusher
dude.
at 40 yards.
He didn't look
Didn't look that bad. Kind of had a little burst.
I hate it.
My buddy Joe is like, he looks thinner. He looks a little faster. I'm like,
He's way thinner.
He's there. Yeah, he's right.
first carry.
No. I'm saying like he looks good.
Oh, okay.
Like when he got that swing pass and ran for 10.
Yeah, it's
I mean, he got some garbage yards. It was 3rd and 20 on that first drive. Let's hand it
Yeah.
to Zeke. We'll get him a nice 8 here. It'll make the overall average look a little better. But, early on, and so this is way, way, way early on, you're like, I don't know. Maybe it's going to be a tough game. Yeah, Cleveland, tough defense.
yeah.
Stopped him right away.
No, Zeke did get the first carry.
Man,
Did he?
I could have swore he was second.
Okay.
I guess I was right again.
Well, I was right. I was trying to compliment you and say that you did something right, and you just can't take that compliment.
Okay, yeah, Terp was just the return.
Then I thought, I don't know, during the game it was clear, like Dak and CD, I just wondered if Jerry mandated that they have the same amount of, offensive touches as their percentage of the salary cap. Like, it's just those two going back and forth the whole game, which is great. If you've got a guy like that, go back to the, 2 years ago playoff game against San Francisco?
Yeah, had like
where
2
we didn't-
targets.
Yeah, like this is the guy. These are the guys we're paying. Let's get him open. Figure it out.
That's McCarthy.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah.
And then Ferguson goes down, so there's not a whole lot of other options at that point.
Yeah, I'm not really familiar with the game of any of the wide receivers besides Brandon Cook on this. Cooks on this.
And he was fine.
Yeah,
And they'll play Turpin more at receiver.
you think?
Well, he's got to learn to catch.
He's not the greatest when it comes to the hands, but I mean, CeeDee Lamb can take over a game at any point. At any point, he can break one. So he's worth it. You think Zeke's back next year? If you want to make a prediction for next year,
Dude, there's no way, right? There's no way.
because it's like a 1 year, $2.5 million or something like that, right?
But how about when he first did this? When he first did the feed me, did you see it?
Of course I did.
Okay.
And again, it's the sort of thing that is very, very popular in the stands.
Yeah,
I was going
the
nuts.
Cowboys fans go crazy.
Oh yeah.
What if we get like a Week 9 announcement? Cowboys
Extension?
and Ezekiel Elliott agree to a contract.
No, their
extension.
season is going really good.
Yeah, they're 8-1.
Hold on. They're 8-1.
Uh-huh.
Rico Dowdle got hurt. All of a sudden, Zeke holds out.
In the middle of the year.
Yes, to demand a new contract, or else he's not coming back.
Well, Deuce Vaughn time.
He plays on special teams now.
You got to carry.
You got to carry. Had a nice block on a couple returns.
Okay, nice that you noticed that. I didn't notice him at all.
I mean,
What do you think of the new kickoff?
I love it.
Now that we have a whole weekend of it,
I love it.
It's still weird to me.
it's certainly weird.
I forgot to look up the stats, and probably it'll take a little bit to normalize, but it might have been the Bears, but somebody ran like a counter off of it yesterday,
Yeah.
which is just something you would never be able to do in a regular kickoff. But they're like actually running like counter tray plays off of the kickoff.
I think once we get into playoffs, we'll start seeing them dress up a little bit, trick plays and whatnot.
The Cowboy game, pretty boring on that front yesterday, but there were a couple of exciting ones throughout the day.
Well,
Because
you know,
Aubrey's just going to he's going to kick it all the way out of the back of the end zone pretty much every time.
Well, he didn't yesterday.
Well, he kicked it to the end zone.
Yeah, I think they're trying to do that. Like, he's pretty good at aiming exactly where he wants that kick to go, and he's got a pretty consistent – they're going to catch it like 3 yards into the end zone.
Yeah, but why would
Like,
you
he
want to
did
just
that-
kick it higher?
Because
I am
airtime
not here to complain about Brandon Aubrey.
Airtime doesn't matter anymore.
Oh, that's a good point. You can't move until they touch it.
And I think
Yeah, but I still
what he's trying to do is land it at the 2 or 3, because if it hops into the end zone, they
now
get
you
it
have
at the 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you either return it or get it at the 20.
No, I saw – yeah, he was practicing that a ton before the game for sure. I mean, if we're going to talk Brandon Aubrey, let's talk Brandon Aubrey.
Dude.
What a robot. What a machine.
So what, they roll him out from 66 right before the half.
Yeah, so the end of the half, first of all, Browns, Kevin Stefanski has to be better than this after 4 years of being a head coach.
Was he coach of the year last year?
I think he was. Thanks to,
He's been
twice.
Wow.
So thanks to, Joe Flacco last year for sure. But that right before half, they had like 40-some seconds. They end up giving the ball back to the Cowboys, and the Cowboys almost ended up scoring again.
Yeah, they had to punt. Turpin returned it to about the 40. And then, one comeback
But just the
round
clock
to the
management, the
Cooks.
game management, letting the Cowboys get the ball back is ridiculous. I don't know that you take a knee with 40 seconds left, but I just think you want to let that clock run down a little bit more.
Well, I can tell you when you don't want to take a knee is when you paid a quarterback $250 million.
You would think.
That's pretty much the time where you think, all right, well, we've got a couple timeouts here, 40 seconds. Let's see if we can at least get 3 on the board.
So what was it? It was already 20-3, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah. The Cowboys end up with, they just have to make one pass, and all of a sudden they're,
In his range.
quote, in field goal range. They're in no one's range. 66 yards is the longest field goal in NFL history.
So they're
Yet I think you're actually right. They're in his range.
Yeah. No, I mean, we were debating this morning at the house, where would it have been good from? And I think it at least had a few more yards on it. It might not have been good from 75, but I think it would have been pretty close from 71 if they attempted it after the delay of game penalty.
So I don't know where you
And
guys
McCarthy's freaking out over there, yelling at the refs. I don't know what happened.
I don't know where you guys were sitting, but all the field goals kind of looks similar on television. But was it weird seeing him line up on the other side of the 50?
Yes.
Like in person, it has to be like it doesn't compute.
And I really thought they were going to let him take another run at it.
The 71?
Yeah.
If the Browns, hadn't called timeout.
If I can back to the 9 different football bits I'm in, the last one I was somebody talked me into. You'll be really surprised who told me I should get in this one.
Mike Soroy.
Explain the bit, and then I'll guess.
He already knows.
Oh.
Because it's a confusing bit.
KT.
I'm in a kicker knockout league.
What the fuck?
So mark that
for
DZTV. I'm in a kicker knockout league.
Okay.
And what that means is every week you pick a kicker. You can't pick the same kicker twice. And if that kicker misses, then you're just out of the league. Kind of like our knockout league for picking a winner. I'm out because in our knockout league I picked Cincinnati. And
can you reuse a kicker?
No. You can't pick the same kicker twice. So that means you're kind of looking at who's in a dome maybe this week? Who's this? Who's that? Who's
weather.
hot? Yeah, weather. But anyway, KT said, do I want in this? I got in it. And I picked Brandon Aubrey for my first one because he's our guy. And so now I'm pretty nervous. First of all, didn't he hit like a 57-yarder earlier?
Yeah, there was a 40 and a 57. He made 4.
But he made 57 like it was nothing.
Yeah.
And then, now they line him up for a 66, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to be out of another knockout league right now.
You were happy about the delay of game?
And it was no, because he made it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the idea that they might have
at first,
attempted it.
Then when they were lining up to try the 71, I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? But I would have liked to see it anyway. I would rather be knocked out and have seen him attempt that. Maybe they decided not to based on the fact that Browns are sending a guy to be a returner.
Yeah, that can be a problem.
And, why take that risk? We're up 20-3. I can see why they would pull that back.
Do you find yourself getting nervous for him like I do?
Yeah, I do. I feel like he's my son.
Just because we had him on twice?
Or my brother or something. Yeah, I've met the guy for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm over there biting my nails. Like it was watching my brother play football
Brandon,
in college.
Remember your steps. Remember the garage.
Right, 3 steps, 2 over.
The mom from Rookie of the Year or whatever in the crowd. I'm like, maybe he'll look over at me and we'll lock eyes.
But even after he made that 66, and then they were sending him out, theoretically, they were just keeping him out there, he didn't change expression at all. He didn't look like, oh, my gosh, really? They're going to have, he was just like, okay, let's go.
Oh, for the 71.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I would like to see it.
Yeah.
I think he will set the NFL record for longest kick.
Yeah, I mean, if Bones has anything to do with it, he's over there pleading for it. It's the sort of thing that they would do in baseball.
As a bit?
Yeah.
Hey, let's try this.
Let's just try it because it's a record, whatever.
Baseball has time.
Yeah. Football.
Well, if you're
not
winning games by – although bits, they just don't like bits as much in football.
Yeah.
Like if McCarthy was to say, hey, drop a knee right there so that we can give him a chance at the all-time record.
Right.
I don't think he would do that.
Baseball, the sport that famously, well, now I don't know what we can say and can't say.
I think
you can say anything and he'll just not use it.
We need to do our show.
To my knowledge, football never had an owner that put a little person into the game to drum up publicity. Baseball did.
Yeah.
And gave him a half number.
Which was awesome. Or in a fourth, I think.
A fourth, sure, which is disrespectful, frankly.
So, defense?
I mean, what can you say, dude?
I liked Overshone.
He is ridiculously fast for that position. He was tracking sideline to sideline. And, again, he was a super, super cool dude to us. He's pretty light, which I guess might just be the way that the NFL linebacker is now. He's not a big guy.
Mike is not a big guy.
No, and especially now. Yeah, Overshown is awesome.
I thought the.
I wish he was wearing 0, though.
Why?
That's what he wore in college.
Oh, okay.
And it looked super
Are you
cool.
not allowed to wear 0 in the NFL?
I think Jerry actually said no.
Oh, Jerry has a friend who's.
Jerry's never had a friend that wore 0, so
you
it doesn't
can't do
remind
it.
him
Right.
of anyone.
Right.
Well, that
He's
sack,
awesome. Diggs is awesome.
That sack that he actually ran past Micah on to get the sack does show you how fast he is, and that was a horrible DeShaun Watson. Like he had
Not
all,
sure where you're going with that.
He had all day to throw. I think it was a 4th down, but still,
Yeah.
you got to get rid of that ball. You can't take that sack there.
He will hold the ball on you. And the thing is, like, the one thing that he does actually pretty well is he can't escape pressure. You know, like he
got
himself out of a 2 or 3.
Got out of that first Micah try.
Yeah, but
And then the next play or very soon thereafter, Micah
not much else.
made sure he wrapped him up.
Yeah.
What did Micah get? 1 sack on the day?
I think he had the sack, he had the tip, and then like 4 or 5 other pressures.
Oh yeah, he caused the interception.
The pick, yeah. And then I was actually going back and watching that this morning. He tips the ball, it gets picked, and then he immediately is just headhunting the block.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah, like, okay. Now's the part where I'm allowed to just absolutely take somebody's head off. And he did.
Dude, they've got some real stars on the team, man.
I thought Eric Kendricks was awesome yesterday, too.
How about Eric
He's the one who had the pick.
Kendricks?
Right? Yeah.
He also sack? Tackle for loss? I don't know. He had a sack.
2 sacks.
Okay.
D-Law still looks like
Which
D-Law.
you think like, oh, Kendricks played for Zimmer. You know, we hear that a lot, and towards the end of his career. But he flashed a lot.
You're about to say D-Law because I keep waiting for his
Precipitous decline.
decline.
Yeah.
2 sacks as well.
Yeah, they have a very legit defense, and Dak is good enough on most days. So
Brian Anger was in Pro Bowl for him.
Banger.
I even look at him like when it's time for the hold, I'm like, great hold, Brian.
Come on, Brian. We need a good snap, Trent.
And I was saying this yesterday at the Airbnb, but because by the way, so I left. Joe and I left after the DeShaun Watson touchdown drive, which was already kind of garbage time, but early in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah.
And that's when we decided, you know what? What if we weren't here?
We've had our salmon.
We had the salmon. Things are going well. But I love the Cowboys line shift.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just love it. Like
It's like the one cool thing they have.
their victory cigar.
Yeah.
Their one bit, it's their one link to history.
Mm-hmm.
To the Tom Landry. Apparently, would the Cowboys back then do it every play?
Yeah.
Because it almost seems like tiring.
It does seem a little unnecessary. I've never really understood it, to be honest with you. But yeah, I do believe that was the thing. And they let Cooper do it.
Yeah.
Like they let the backup go out there. Dan was asking me yesterday, like, why is Micah still in this game with 2 minutes left?
Yeah.
And my conspiracy theory is he wants to get as many snaps at edge as possible.
To qualify?
So that somehow he qualifies for whether it's the franchise tag or – because there's no reason for him to be out there.
I don't think that's a joke, man. Once you said that is very logical.
Because they can't tell him anything.
Think about who you're talking to.
Yeah. The guy who knows everybody's money and knows how the whole game works and can't really be told what to do at this point.
It didn't look like –
Because
well,
he never comes out of the game.
you watched most of the game, right, on TV. You didn't go to the game. So are they even – every time I saw him, he was on the edge.
Yeah, they did a graphic of where he was lining up, and it was mostly at edge. He was over to the center a couple times.
Yeah.
But I didn't see him at linebacker much.
No. Which maybe having Overshown lets you do that.
And maybe if you get up 20-3, you don't want to show all your cards.
Good times.
Yeah.
Like nothing but good times. I don't know what is a negative coming out of the game, though.